isn't tracking right, something is not working properly.
Generational talent, your star player, the cash cow.
I want to look like more information is coming out to how Caitlin Clark re-aggravated that.
Jacy Sheldon just got hit with a suspension, and yeah, it's exactly for that brutal cheap shot on Caitlin Clark that set the entire internet ablaze. We're talking over 12 million views in 24 hours, petitions flying faster than a three-pointer, and fans straight up canceling their all-star tickets. This isn't just your average WNBA drama. This is a full-blown reckoning. If you thought the league could just silently shrug when their biggest star gets rocked, you clearly haven't been paying attention.
The Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun game, and I swear every time these two teams go up against one another, something happens, and it's honestly never good.
News has not broke that Caitlin Clark's hurt, but you can damn near be prepared for the verdict.
But it's not just what went down, it's the chilling context of how it happened. Caitlin Clark was absolutely cooking, dropping 14 points, 8 boards, and 7 dimes in just 28 minutes. She was finally moving smooth, flashing that signature brilliance everyone fell head over heels for. And then, in an instant, everything screeched to a halt. 1 second she's leading the Fever toward their 3rd straight win. The next she's crumpled on the ground, clutching her leg in agony. The groin again, the same damn injury. Only this time it looked like a whole new level of bad.
So as you guys can see here, she is dribbling down, she plants her foot, she passes the ball to Kelsey Mitchell on the back door, and then when she is running back on the other end of the court, it seems like she's grabbing her.
These referees was completely ridiculous yesterday. It was just a...
Now this is where the real mess begins. That viral clip, it clearly shows Jacy Sheldon, yes, that Jacy Sheldon, extending her leg directly into Caitlin's groin area. This wasn't subtle. You don't need to zoom in or squint to see it. From not one, but 2 different angles, her leg is fully off the ground, knee shot straight out. Clark instantly grabs her leg. No flop, she was legitimately hurt, and badly. And the ref, he was standing right there, front row, doing absolutely nothing. No call, no whistle, no ejection. It was a moment that screamed foul, and let's not pretend this came out of nowhere. This wasn't some random act of aggressive defense. This was years in the making. Clark and Sheldon have a history dating back to college battles that were notoriously heated. Elbows, eye pokes, consistent foul trouble. It was always personal. Earlier this season, Sheldon literally poked Caitlin in the eye. That clip is still floating around, so now we're supposed to believe this sudden knee to the groin is just standard competitive play. Yeah, right, that math just doesn't add up.
Every time the Indiana Fever plays the Connecticut Sun, it is a very
The entire game was a contact sport from the jump. Sheldon was locked onto Clark body to body, bump after bump. It was an undeniable slugfest. But even with all that intense heat, this final play wasn't just physical, it was a blatant line cross. You don't extend your knee like that unless you're trying to send a very specific message. And unfortunately, that message landed loud and clear. We can hit Caitlin Clark and no one's going to stop us. The outrage is boiling over, not just because Caitlin is hurting yet again, but because the WNBA has remained completely silent. No statement, no update, no accountability whatsoever.
And I'm here to tell you, it is not a good moment in the fan base. Fans are quiet online. A lot of people are starting to look like they're reselling their all-star tickets.
Fans are officially done playing nice. Right now, people are literally reselling or even giving away their all-star game tickets. That's how deep this betrayal cuts. And honestly, who can blame them? Caitlin Clark has been the singular driving force behind WNBA ratings skyrocketing, jerseys flying off shelves, and national attention finally hitting critical mass. She's the whole damn show. And yet, week after week, she's taking hit after brutal hit with zero protection from the league. But then came the bombshell. According to multiple league insiders, the WNBA is now seriously considering suspending Jacy Sheldon following the incident. While they've stayed publicly mute, internal discussions are reportedly heating up, fueled not just by the injury itself, but by the massive, overwhelming backlash from fans and sponsors alike.
Somebody, she hides it really well, and I don't know if hiding it or she handles it is probably the right thing to say. She handles the pressure. She handles all of the media spotlight, the attention,
Sources are whispering that the real tipping point arrived when those harrowing video clips of Clark in visible agony started circulating, often alongside slowed down replays of Sheldon's alleged groin-level contact. A suspension, even a brief one, would mark the league's very first significant disciplinary action in the burgeoning Caitlin Clark era, potentially setting a massive precedent moving forward. Whether it's purely for optics or a glimmer of actual justice, the sheer, undeniable force of public pressure might finally be forcing the WNBA's hand. Caitlin Clark is seemingly getting hurt down there every single week. This isn't merely bad officiating, this is a systemic, institutional failure, and people are finally loudly calling it out. Clark's current status remains frustratingly unclear. Whispers suggest the injury could be a tear, possibly even worse than her previous struggles. If that's true, she might miss more games, maybe even the All-Star weekend entirely. That's not just a blow to the league, that's a gut punch to the fans, and frankly, a severe hit to the WNBA's entire credibility.
Player, the cash cow, the one who's the reason why the Indiana Fever are known across the globe.
Because when your biggest star is limping off the court, visibly suffering, and your league does absolutely nothing, what kind of message does that send about how you protect your players? More importantly, what does it say about how you truly value her? This wasn't just a rough night in Boston. This might very well be the precise moment the WNBA completely lost the trust of its most passionate fans. And just like that, the fan base didn't just flip, it snapped. We're talking full-on, no-holds-barred mutiny mode.
While coaches were refusing to get a technical foul with all the play that's been going on all season long.
All it took was one more cheap shot, one more blatantly dirty play, one more deafeningly silent response from the powers that be. Suddenly, loyal fans were putting their WNBA All-Star tickets on resale platforms like they were trying to unload cursed artifacts. No joke, people were literally giving them away for free. This wasn't mere disappointment. It was a powerful, silent, yet razor-sharp protest. The message roared louder than any arena. If y'all refuse to protect Caitlin Clark, then we're officially done protecting your precious bottom line.
When you're in the WNBA and you have not one, not two, but three incompetent officials all at one time.
And fans aren't just fuming at the refs anymore. They're looking way up, straight at WNBA leadership. Because here's the part that truly stings. Caitlin Clark is the league's most valuable asset right now. Ratings are skyrocketing, jerseys are vanishing from shelves, ESPN is practically building entire highlight shows around her. She is, without a doubt, the unparalleled draw, and yet, every single week, it's her getting hacked, whacked, bumped, and bruised, while the whistle just stares blankly.
Upset with the referee. Screaming on the referee.
Let's talk about that specific referee from the Jacy Sheldon play. Not only was he standing right there, front row and center, but Caitlin literally confronted him right after getting kneed in the groin. And what did he do? No tech, no flagrant, not even a delayed foul. He just stood there looking like he was watching paint dry with the emotional range of a damp paper towel. Experts have come out swinging, echoing the sentiment. Every week she's getting hurt and nobody's doing anything. And they're not lying. Whether it's the elbow to the back, the eye poke, or now this devastating groin injury, it's always her. Meanwhile, the refs are practically running a no-contact filter unless it's Caitlin Clark herself taking the blow.
More importantly, they're holding Kathy accountable. Kathy Engelbert is the commissioner of the league. She has yet to release a statement, yet to step in to address these WNBA referees.
And while we're on the topic of silence, where in the world is Kathy Engelbert? The WNBA commissioner has yet to utter a single official word. Not even a "we're reviewing the incident." Not even a "we stand by our officials." Nothing, not a whisper. So now, with the league seemingly deaf to their pleas, fans are climbing the ladder, calling in the biggest guns they can find.
Many people could be petitioning for Adam Silver to possibly step in and get.
That's right, Adam Silver's name is suddenly popping up in fan threads and YouTube comment sections. Wild, isn't it? But at this point, fans are beyond desperate. If Kathy won't handle it, maybe the NBA will step in. There's even a petition circulating, demanding Silver intervene and remove Engelbert from her post entirely. And that petition? Oh yeah, it's racking up numbers at an astonishing rate.
Speak up and speak out. At this point, they don't even care if we speak out.
The whole explosive situation has people legitimately asking, is the WNBA intentionally sacrificing its biggest star to maintain some artificial sense of balance? You know, to avoid looking like one player is dominating the entire league. That's the chilling theory, and it's not just coming from random trolls anymore. It's being openly discussed on legitimate platforms, and that is terrifying. Because if there's even a hint of truth to that, then we've spiraled from merely bad refereeing to outright sabotage. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here, visibly limping through games, still dropping 14+ points, still pulling record crowds. And what does she get in return? Another injury, another missed whistle, another endless news cycle of speculation. Fans have officially had enough. It's been misstep after misstep after misstep from the league. They're no longer asking politely, they're demanding accountability. Not just for Caitlin, but for the fundamental future of the sport. Because here's the harsh reality. If the league can't protect its single biggest draw, what kind of cynical message does that send to every young girl watching from home, dreaming of playing? Exactly. And just when you thought this story couldn't take another shocking twist, boom, a fan decked out in full Caitlin Clark gear gets kicked out of TD Garden. Yeah, while Jacy Sheldon's out here throwing knees like it's an MMA cage match, a dude wearing a Clark jersey gets ejected for allegedly touching Sonya Rivers. A Caitlin Clark fan ejected from the game. Now, hold on, because we've all seen the clip. It didn't look violent. It didn't even look like a confrontation. If anything, it looked like he was just clapping enthusiastically. But next thing you know, security swarms him like he just sprinted onto the court naked. People online immediately started raging. You can knee Clark and stay in the game, but clap too hard and you're gone for? Make it make sense. Clearly, some coaches are more concerned with playing politics than protecting players. And now we get to the hardest, most gut-wrenching part to discuss. Is Caitlin Clark done for the season? Look, this wasn't just a minor tweak. Multiple sources are indicating it could be a serious groin tear, possibly even worse than what she was already battling. That's why she was on the ground. That's why she limped off the court. That's why her teammates looked so visibly shaken. Even they knew this wasn't just another bump in the road.
Caitlin Clark, she is your star player. She's having an injury that is jumping. It's not one that is just staying in one area. It's jumping from quad to groin and now to another groin.
She was finally hitting her stride, finding that familiar rhythm. This was her 4th game back after her previous recovery, and she was rock solid. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. She looked like herself again, like the star we all knew, and then this. Still no update from the Indiana Fever. Absolutely nothing from the league. Just a deafening silence while the biggest name in women's basketball might be sidelined once more, potentially for the long term.
But this news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
And you know what else this puts in absolute jeopardy? The All-Star Game. That moment we've all been eagerly anticipating. The one event her mere inclusion was driving ratings through the roof for. Do you know how many WNBA jerseys are being sold right now? Caitlin Clark accounts for nearly 60% of them. She is the face of this league. She's the reason non-WNBA fans are even bothering to tune in. And if she's benched again, that's a direct, devastating hit to ticket sales, viewership, and the league's hard-won momentum.
Say the hype around Caitlin Clark is just hype. Like, no, she is an incredible basketball player. She does things on the court that we have not seen in the women's game.
She's the one bringing in those record ratings, and they're letting her get absolutely wrecked on the court. You simply cannot build your entire marketing campaign and the future of your league around a generational talent and then allow her to take damage like she's expendable. That's not just bad management, that's borderline sabotage. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What in the world happens to Jacy Sheldon now? Because if you poll the fans, a suspension is the absolute bare minimum. Many are demanding she be held immediately accountable, if not by her team, then unequivocally by the league itself. The footage is damning, the timing is deeply suspicious, and the injury is undeniably real. This isn't some hot take, it's a grim reality playing out in slow motion on every sports highlight reel across the internet.
Impresses me most about her is her ability to step up in big moments. When the bright lights are on, Caitlin Clark.
And if the league dares to not act, the backlash will be nothing short of nuclear. We're talking about the fundamental credibility of the entire WNBA on the line here. The legions of new fans who flock to the sport because of Caitlin Clark, the Gen Z viewers, the NBA crossovers, even international eyes. They're all watching closely to see how the league handles this crisis. And if the crushing takeaway is that your biggest stars don't get protection here, then what exactly are we even doing?
Because she's a ball dominant guard. She's a distributor of the basket.
Sponsorships could very well start pulling out. TV partners might begin asking some very uncomfortable questions. Adam Silver, whose name is already being tagged in practically every other tweet, might be forced to step in, not as a courtesy, but as a desperate attempt to save face for the entire basketball landscape. We've witnessed this in other leagues before. The concussion crisis in the NFL, the load management drama in the NBA. When public pressure mounts to this degree, change has to happen. So this all raises the much bigger, more critical question: is this the WNBA's long overdue wake-up call? Because whether you're a diehard Caitlin Clark fan or not, you should absolutely demand that your stars are protected. You should demand accountability from the top down. And right now it feels like those demands are being completely ignored. Let's not get it twisted. This isn't about hating on Sheldon. This isn't about favoritism. This is fundamentally about protecting the players who are single-handedly carrying this league on their backs. Because as we've said, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's the entire movement. So here's the crystal clear message for the league: do better, protect your stars, or risk losing the very audience you just worked so incredibly hard to build.